This video is sponsored by C&A Building Products. C&A is the UK's #1 independent supplier of plastic building materials since 1968. Their base is set up in Gillingham, so it's a local business. And if you are interested in plastic products for a project or whatever you're doing or wherever your needs are, the link to their website and their catalogue can be found in the description below. Welcome to German Gills. Gills head up to Lincolnshire to take on Grimsby Town this afternoon. Your German Gills show will bring you a live match reaction today from your host, Reese. Luke will offer his predicted 11 today as we see if Jaden Clark has a place in the team after a solid night at Luton Town. German Gills will be coming live from Duisburg, Germany to see if the Gills can continue their successful away form at Blundell Park, Schön, dass du da bist, and Los geht's Gills. Welcome to the German Gills show as Gillingham head up north to play Grimsby Town this afternoon on our first match in September. Gills had a bit of a rough one last week against Holshire, losing 3-0, so hopefully we've got a bit of character to turn it around and take some points away at Blundell Park this afternoon. I'm going to be your host, Reese, to take you through every step of today's game. Thank you very much for stopping by on this German Gills show. And the Grimsby Town fans here as well, thank you very much for watching also. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by using Buy Me a Coffee. All donations are much appreciated. And if you'd like to reach out to German Gills using our WhatsApp, the links to all of these are down in the description below. If you would like to go straight to the live match reaction, use the chat bars at the bottom of the video to navigate around. Gills crashed out of the cup on Tuesday night against Luton Town at Kenilworth Road. It was a 3-2 defeat, but there was a man of the match performance with Jaden Clark. So let's see if Luke is going to include him in his Luke's 11.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Luke's 11. Last Saturday saw us lose our 100% record and also conceded our first league goals for the season. Tuesday, we were also knocked out of the Carabao Cup after losing 3-2 to Luton after staging a comeback in the second half with a standout performance from Jaden Clark. I'm not going to dwell too much on last Saturday's performance. We know we have to be better, and I'm sure you can all agree after that Crawley game, our luck was going to run out at some point. In contrast, Grimsby have just had the one win in the league so far, beating Salford 2-0 at home, drawing against Walsall, Mansfield and Wimbledon, and losing to Notts County. Grimsby were also in action Tuesday night, where they drew 2-2 with Man City under-21s and eventually lost out in a penalty shootout. The 11 is tough this week, as we saw Neil revert to a starting 3-5-2 against Luton, making the formation a tricky one. However, I think we'd all like to see him release the handbrake, and as he described in the fans forum, having a right go at teams could see us go with a 4-4-2 today. And I've gone with the blow. Jake Turner to come back in goal. However, I think Jake could be walking a slight tight line over the next coming games. He's been great so far this season. However, we saw glimpses of his poor distribution last weekend. And for me, he's held onto the ball too long in his hands. He's not getting us up the pitch when we've got clear, Madison turning defenders on their back, and I think that's something that Glenn gives us in abundance, really. And I think he could be up for this position rotating over the next couple of games. But don't get me wrong, Jake has done very well. It's kept us in a number of games, but I think the experience of Glenn could be something that we need to fall back on. I'm going to go and return to a back four. Robbie McKenzie to come in at right back. I think Che, again, showed some defensive frailties last weekend. And in my opinion, Robbie is the better defender and slots in at right back. Time for Connor to get his start in the league. And I believe he'll get his start this weekend alongside Shad Oji, with Scott Malone to continue at left back. A midfield four of Sean Williams, Tim Dieng, Connor Mahoney and Jaden Clark. And Jaden Clark should get his deserved start, with Tom Nichols and Ashley Naden to continue up top. As I mentioned, I want to see a reaction from the group in which we got a Luton. However, this needs to be replicated in the league performance. And I think we've got enough to beat Grimsby, although I think it's going to be a very, very close game. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 Gills win. Los geht's Gills.
Let's have a listen to what fans have to say about today's match against Grimsby Town this afternoon in our German Gills fan zone.
Hi Reese, Finn here. Can't be at today's game against Grimsby Town, but I'll give you my score predictions. I think it'll be 2-1 Gills, Tommy Nichols and Johnny Williams. Los geht's Gills.
Good afternoon, Reece. Ben here. I've just arrived at Blundell Park for this afternoon's game with Grimsby Town away. I am going to predict for today's game a 1-1 draw. Jaden Clark to score for us. And Los Gills.
Let's head over to Blundell Park for today's live match reaction. Los Gills. So we are about to get underway here at Blundell Park, and I just want to give another shout out again to C&A Building Products. They are today's video sponsor, so the link to their shop and their company is in the description down below. But let's see if Gills can get something from this game at Blundell Park, as we have an early opportunity for Grimsby as it goes out for a corner. Well, right on the back foot already, but let's see if we can actually get something from this game. So it's Grimsby's third corner off the game already. We're about 11 minutes into this game. It's an outswing. It's head towards goal, and it's in the back of the net. And Grimsby have taken the lead in this game. It's a fantastic corner move, I have to say, but no one was picking up the eventual goal scorer. And Jake Turner was completely flat-footed, and it just went in the back of the net. And it's Gillingham are 1-0 down early on in this game at Blundell Park. We're going to watch the replay very shortly, and it looks like it could be poor defending. Max Amos should be a little bit quicker to that, actually. But it's a lovely glancing header that put it to the right-hand side of the goal. Keeper's not getting that. Is it Mayer that scored that one in the end with the header? It is. And Grimsby, early on this game, are 1-0 up at Blundell Park. Not the start we wanted. It's probably not the best time to also say this, but I just want to give a shout out also to Jay, who has donated 10 beers to the channel as well. Thank you very much for your kind donation for keeping the channel free for me to run. So thank you very much for your generous donation as well, as we see if Gills can actually get back into this game at 1-0 down already. Malone's coming forward now. He's going to win the boss. A great ball. Can we get the goal here? And it's a first real chance. I just want to say, great vision from Scott Malone, who managed to find Naderson, who made a decent run. He just couldn't get the correct connection on that, I have to say. It's really poor from Naderson. I don't know if the ball came in at sort of too much of a pace for him, but he made the run, so he must have expected it. If he connects that, surely that's in the back of the net if he makes that solid connection. Didn't happen, though. And that's the nearest Gills have come to anything going forward in this game so far. Still 1-0 Grimsby. Oh, it's a really poor kick on the goalkeeper, and it's a shot from distance, and Naderson's hurried that. Come on, man, you can't hurry that. You've got to try and get a little bit of composure there. He's had a few opportunities down Naderson in this very short period of a minute or so. He just lost the ball on the right-hand side when he was kind of one-on-one with a defender. Didn't quite beat him, and it ended in the back of the stand from this shot. Gills are starting to knock door a little bit, but really losing a little bit of composure as we're going forward. That's a really poor kick by the keeper, and Gills have picked up possession on this right-hand side with Mahoney in a dangerous position. He's going to take on his man, and he's going to... Oh, my God, Mahoney. Jesus Christ. This is the kind of stuff that just really frustrates me. A little flick on there, and it might go on the back of the net. Mahoney is going to be really good. Comes and pulls out one of the worst passes I've seen so far this season. Jesus Christ. Mahoney's put this ball forward on the right-hand side, I think. Allison's going to be onside. He needs support down the centre. He's got Nichols and Clark. It's gone to Nichols. He's got to get something through it. And again, Gillingham are just not being clinical enough in front of this goal. They get into really dangerous positions and nothing ever comes to fruition. It's really frustrating watching it, as we're seeing Grimsby now down the right-hand side with Ganua. He's going to take the shot maybe from distance. No, he's got a block in that is from Dieng, and the attack's possibly going to peter out. We'll keep the highlight going. Well, that's also the worst pass I've seen so far this game. Actually, no, Mahoney earlier was the worst pass. That's the second worst pass. The amount of the clinical ability that we seem to be lacking at the moment, I don't know if it's under pressure or not, but it's really frustrating to watch as Gillingham again waste an opportunity in the final third. Still 1-0 Grimsby. It's really poor from Gillingham, and this could be a great chance for Grimsby to double their lead, and it might well do at this rate, and it's going in the back of the net, and I've got to say, Gillingham's defending there was absolutely atrocious. The passing work between, I think it was Aimer and Shadow only was awful. There was no intention to get the ball away. I think we're trying to overplay it at the back, and it's a really frustrating moment for Gills as Grimsby doubled their advantage. It was a nice finish in the end, and really well worked to get the ball forward in the end by Grimsby, but it all came from a Gillingham defensive error. And I think it was Holohan who managed to put the ball in the back of the net, calm and collected. It was a good little ball in the end by Isa, but it all stemmed from the fact that Gillingham were playing it at the back really needlessly. They've got to put their foot through it sometimes. I know we don't like the long ball all the time, but in areas of possession of the pitch like this when you're under pressure, you just got to get rid of the ball. And unfortunately, it didn't happen for Gillingham. Grimsby pounced on it and put it in the back of the net. Gills got a massive uphill struggle now early already in this first half. 2-0 Grimsby. Grimsby with the corners left-hand side. They get a third now. I kind of feel that's it as they head towards goal. Gills to clear their lines. Not convincing. A shot on goal goes over. That is by Malarkey. Gillingham are just so slow in defence at the moment. It's unbelievable actually, because we've been so solid in defence when we won those 4-1-0s in a row. It would just seem a little bit chaotic and not convincing at the moment. Lack of confidence, just out of nowhere. I mean, that could have easily gone to the back of the net if it's a decent connection to the top corner. Luckily, Malarkey didn't do that. It's still 2-0 Grimsby, but my God, Gills would be lucky to get to half-time with no more goals conceded. And that is a very disappointing half-time. So at half-time, it's Grimsby Town 2, Gillingham 0, and Gillingham just don't look like scoring whatsoever, and unfortunately, our defence hasn't been strong enough to keep this game tight, and with Gillingham going in 2 down, unless we have some sort of turnaround in fortune or skill moving forward, I can't see us getting anything from this game. And Grimsby have just been very professional in their approach and have done well to get the ball in the back of the net twice, and they had 2 shots on targets and 2 goals, and Gillingham can't unfortunately say the same at least with the shots on target as well. So it's not been a great showing for Gillingham. It's been poor for Gillingham, and Grimsby have taken advantage of that. There's nothing really more to say, and Harris has to change it at half time. I'm sure he will, but hopefully we can get a spark from somewhere. But at the moment, I don't see where that's coming from. But yeah, hopefully it will change in the second half. So we're about to get underway for the second half, and it can only get better from here, surely. It's not been a great showing so far. But I just want to give a shout out to Jay, who did donate 10 beers to the channel last week. Thank you very much for your support. It helps us keep the channel running smoothly and running as low a cost as possible. So thank you ever so much for your donation and support. And hopefully, the second half, we can at least have some good competitive football to get back into this game, but who knows? Maher's coming for Canoe's coming forward for Grimsby. He's done really well with all the pressure. This could be a goal for Grimsby. It's a decent save by Jake Turner, and that could have easily been 3-0 and curtains. And I've got to say, it's a decent save from Turner down to his right-hand side. He's not had much to do in this game in terms of the 2 shots that he's let in, unfortunately. But other than that, that's been it. So he's actually had a bit of an impact. It's a decent shot, and Turner should save that, but he gets down quickly and puts it by his right-hand post, and Grimsby do have a corner. He's on coming forward now on the right-hand side. Can we actually get a shot on target, or a shot goes ahead of the goal, and it's a shot on target? Way! Finally, something which has gone towards the goalkeeper. That is literally the first shot on target for Gills, and it's just floated into the goalkeeper's hands. But we actually, just from that attack, is the most attacking intent we've had all game really so far, and it just reeks of early last season. It really does. And still 2-0 Grimsby. They deserve their lead, and I think they're going to go on and win it. But it would be nice to be a bit more competitive at the top. Anyway, 2-0 Grimsby. Gills now coming down this right-hand side of Alexander. I've already spoken for the last 10 minutes. It's been that poor. Nothing's really happened as Gills come forward here to try and create a chance, and it goes to the goalkeeper's hands. And I've got to say, since Gillingham had that first shot on target, there is in literally nothing. It has been really poor. Johnny Williams come on, actually, to try and change it up a little bit. And we've got 20 minutes to try and get something from this game. But really, there's nothing happening. We do not look like scoring. I have to say, like the last few, even last season, when we did win games, it's only by a margin. Small margin, we haven't looked like scoring loads of goals or creating lots of chances, and it is literally something we're really struggling to do. And if we can't defend games like today, for example, then we're going to be really struggling, because this is the problem that we have. Anyway, as you go down the left-hand side, Grimsby got the ball and they get a third. It's absolutely curtains. I still think it's curtains now. And it's a is that a good save by Jake Turner? His near post, don't know, but it went back out and might hit the post. But again, you can see Grimsby look like they're going to score. They look like they're moving forward. They have attacking with intent and creating stuff and putting Gillingham under pressure. We are not doing that. Why? How we were doing that against League Cup opposition at Southampton and Luton, I don't know, but can't do it in the league. It really is a slight cause of concern for me, and that's really poor communication in the end, as Gillingham do clear the ball. But it's just been really frustrating afternoon, and there needs to be a bit of a shake-up on the pitch. That needs to happen, because I'm not sure where these goals are coming from to see us through games like this, for example. Williams coming forward now, the right hand side, and Macaulay Bond need to chase onto this. We need to score from this, get anything from this game. Macaulay wants to come in the box and cross it. Is there on there to get at the back post? There is, and it's saved. Surely it's bouncing around. Gills can. I tell you what, I need to see the replay again, but there's still a lack of urgency in that box. The keeper spilled it, and loads of the Gills players just didn't react to it. I mean, it's Nadesan. What? Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, Nadesan. You got to be anticipating the goalkeeper might drop that. It's unbelievable. And that's why we're not scoring goals. Really. We're not anticipating anything. There's a lack of creativity. And I appreciate the fact that there are injured players out. And I know that we went to Luton and played Tuesday night, and Grimsby had a game against Man City, had 21s and reversed everything and put on their youngsters. Nonetheless, we need to be reacting to stuff like this and have some high anticipation. The game is meandering to nothing, and there's a great opportunity to get something from this game. No, still 2-0 Grimsby. And that is full time. So ended Grimsby Town 2, Gillingham 0. And, you know, if you've made it this far in the video, you saw me rant in the second half when we weren't really creating anything. You know, you could put it down to the fact that we haven't actually had a break. We played Luton Tuesday, but then a couple of Grimsby, 2 away games in a row. We probably are quite tired. We did look breathy. It didn't look bereft of anything out there, actually. But we just lack what it seems creativity. We have injuries as well. We've got key players out. So, you know, these are all contributing factors that, you know, as a result, we see on the pitch, it isn't quite working for us. If we get Hawkins back soon, if we get Jeffries back, if we get Lapsley back, then all of a sudden, you know, maybe our performances do start to shift in our favour. It just unfortunately didn't work for us today. We go again next week, and then we've got 2 home games in a row. Maybe we can pick up something there, and if we win the next 2 games, we would have forgotten this one entirely. So it's still early in the season. I know there are going to be some fans who are questioning Harris already. Let's see how it unravels in the future, okay? Because at the moment, I think there's a lot of external factors that have caused this game to play out the way it did. Albeit, I'm not making an excuse for players here. It wasn't the greatest performance, and I think any football fan can see that we were poor today. I also like to thank the sponsor, C&A Building Products, for sponsoring this video, and shame it's one of those games that it probably isn't the best one to start a sponsored video on, but unfortunately that was the way it was. But thank you very much for your support, C&A Building Products. It is very much appreciated. And if you'd like to support the channel as well, you can do so through Buy Me a Coffee. The link to that is in the description, and obviously we have a WhatsApp as well that you can contact German Gills Show with. On to the next, and Los Gills.